Hey, what's up guys? Bajheera here. This is going to be part 2 of these 2v2 arenas I did with Gen Beans. Now, what we're doing right now is we're fighting a Arms Warrior and Resto Druid. And now, right now, I know Jenny is a little bit undergeared, so I don't really want to go for the long game here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my dots up on my Warrior, and as soon as I see this Druid, I'm going to asphyxiate him, pop my cooldowns, deplete as many runes as possible before popping Empowered Rune Weapon, so I can get tons of necrotic strikes. He does manage to get away from me a little bit, so I'm kind of in trouble here. Jenny's popping her tree form to try to keep me alive, but the Druid does LOS me at this point, so I'm just going to go ahead and swap over to the Warrior here. Keep my dots rolling on the Warrior, maybe even throw a few necrotic strikes on the Warrior while his Druid's unable to heal him. So he's going to run away from me, but the Druid's going to run right back into my range. So that means I get to get right back on the Druid. Right now, I'm trying to continue to apply my necrotic strikes on this Druid, even though he's in tree form. I just want to make him work really, really hard to keep himself alive. Gonna put a Soul Reaper up on him. Hopefully it drops him low enough. The Soul Reaper does go off, but he is gonna survive anyway. So he's gonna get around the pillar again, which means, just like I said before, it's gonna go right back on that Warrior. Now, my pet has died to the initial Wreck Storm, I believe. I still haven't noticed that. But right now, I do want to swap to the Druid, so Jenny is going to start cycloning the Warrior, which is perfect. When you're playing with the Resto Druid, it's great to have your Resto Druid cyclone the target that you're not hitting. Even though I'm a dot class, and it means my dots aren't going to be ticking lower and lower, it's going to freeze his health where he is, and once he gets out of that cyclone, his health will continue to tick down while I'm applying pressure to his healer. So once again, as soon as that Druid gets back in my LOS, I'm going to grip him in, asphyxiate him, put up a Soul Reaper, start applying Necros, and that Soul Reaper plus a few necrotic strikes is going to cause that Druid to go down for the count. So really neat game there. Always as an Unholy Death Knight, do not be afraid to switch often. Necrotic strikes are really important for building pressure, but if you can get some Necros rolling on a healer while you've got dots rolling on their DPS, it's really effective. So this Warrior is still going to hit Jenny here, so I'm going to do my classic peel tactics. He's going to charge. I'm going to grip his charge once again, and if he leaps, I'm going to stun him. So there we go. That's pretty much the classic peel tactic versus Warriors. Like I said, Jenny doesn't really have much gear in terms of PvP gear, so even if we killed his healer, this Warrior's still going to go ham and has a chance at it. So be sure to peel your partner effectively as a Death Knight. Even if they do have some gear, you definitely don't want to let your partner take too much damage, and make use of what peels you've got as a Death Knight. So this is going to be a game against an Arms Warrior Disciplined Priest. Same idea. Now I'm telling Jenny, I'm like, listen Jenny, I know it's going to be scary, but I'm going to go all in on this healer, and I need you to heal me as best you can, because I can go balls to the wall and kill this guy if you can just manage to survive this Warrior and keep me up through all this pressure. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to immediately pop my Unholy Frenzy, get my dots rolling. Once I've depleted enough runes and get them converted to death runes, I'm going to pop my Empowered Rune Weapon, refresh all those runes as death runes, and start throwing out those necrotic strikes. Now this Priest has popped Pain Suppression, but I've got my Gargoyle on him. I'm still chucking Death Coils, and he's got some really, really nasty dots rolling on him. I managed to kick his heel, throw a Soul Reaper on him, throw a Necrotic Strike on him. He's going to go down for the count. And meanwhile, Jenny has popped Tree Form, has done a great job of controlling that Warrior's damage, and we did just fine. Alright, so now we're going to fight these rascals. So, Warlock and Boomkin is a pretty annoying thing to fight. I guess it's not necessarily as annoying as Resto Warlock, but as you'll see at the end of this match, this Boomkin might as well be a Resto Druid. So I do want to hit the Boomkin a lot, because I know that I'm going to be pressuring him, because if he's healing himself, he's not dealing damage, but I mean, I guess I could be hitting the Warlock and making the Boomkin heal him, but that is just kind of annoying, so I just want to go right on that Boomkin, get as much damage as I can, and so he's going to get behind the pillar, and I almost killed him in the opener. He got so super low, but I couldn't quite finish him off, so I'm waddling over there, trying to get a pet stun on him, and he's going to LOS my asphyxiate, so I'm like, you know what, whatever, I'll hit the lock for a little bit, but then he starts to cast a Tranquility, which is going to give me the chance to catch up to him. Now right here, I need to be doing a little bit better of a job enraging my pet, I believe, because pet enrage is definitely a lot of your damage, plus it makes your pet stun for a longer time, and it makes your little pet leap into an interrupt as well. And so that's pretty cool. So it gets a root effect and it interrupts. So a big pet deals more damage, gives you more utility. Definitely want to do that. So there you go. I'm gonna pet charge him, and it's gonna root him there for a moment, which is gonna let me get a few hits on him. Now right now, the Warlock is popping Dark Soul, and Jenny, in a really, really heads-up play, cyclones that off. So he only got one Chaos Bolt out. I think he's gonna fear Jenny at this point. So I'm gonna go switch to the Warlock a little bit. Make sure that I get my dots rolling on him, because that's one of the best things that you can do as an Unholy Death Knight. Make sure you got your dots rolling on everybody, even if you're not hitting the target. Like right now, I'm on the Boomkin mainly, but I definitely want to get my dots rolling on the Warlock. So right now, I know Jenny's doing a great job of healing me and controlling these this Warlock and Boomkin's pressure, so I'm not really afraid to be under an Unholy Presence right now. Jenny, everything's going fine with Jenny. I'm controlling their damage. She's able to heal through everything, so we're just fine for me to be Unholy Presence. Now, I do want to hit the lock a little bit. Gonna get some necrotics. Gonna get a Soul Reaper up on him. Just hoping for the best. But as you can see, this Boomkin has not much trouble topping his partner off, even through my dots. So, we're gonna have to, you know, tuck in for a little bit longer of a game. Now they're gonna clone me and start hitting Jenny, which is basically gonna enrage me IRL. So I do not like it when they're hitting poor little Gen Beans with those Chaos Bolts. So I'm gonna go ham here. I'm gonna try to chase these guys down behind their pillar. They're both trying to run. I'm gonna stun the Druid, throw a Death Coil at him. I do want to get my dots up, so I'm gonna waddle over there, hit him with a Plague Strike, pop my AMS because I know I'm gonna be LOSing Jenny here a little bit. So whenever you're LOSing your healer, you don't have to necessarily pop AMS immediately, but I didn't want to get myself in a bad position. So I just went ahead and threw up my AMS, and went in there. So right now, Jenny is going to get silenced, so I have to play a little bit defensively. Not even going to bother with Blood Presence, just going to be aware of my health bar at this point. Once again, I got a Pet Enrage up. Hopefully I use that pretty quick, because like I said before, it is very, very important. So the Boomkin is going to be running away from me. Boomkin's pretty low on mana here, so I'm going to go ahead and throw Necrotic Strikes into the Warlock here. Don't manage to get a Soul Reaper up on him. If I did, maybe I would have killed him. However, my damage is going to force the defensive cooldowns anyway. So right now, Jenny is going to land a sick bash on this Druid. In that stun, I'm going to deal a lot of damage to this Druid. My Unholy Frenzy and a Gargoyle are back up now, so I'm going to pop those immediately and get those really, really nasty Unholy Frenzy dots rolling. I got my Trinket proc here, so if I could look to reapply dots, that'd be really good. So right now, this is scary. I've got Demon Soul Chaos Bolts raining into me. I'm not even going to bother with Blood Presence. I'm going to continue to go ham, use my AMS, and in that moment of huge pressure and the focus asphyxiate, we are going to get a kill on that Warlock. So, those guys definitely heal. Oh, and if you noticed, I meant to point that out. If you need to rewind the video, you can. That Boomkin did twice Jenny's healing as a Boomkin. So, GG. Alright, so this is a match where, despite what Jenny's wishes, I'm telling her to just go ahead and go ahead and start out of stealth and just hot yourself up, because they're probably going to want to hit you. So she doesn't like it, but that's what she does and listens, and as a result, she is going to be able to survive a little bit longer than maybe normal. If they found her out of stealth, they just would have just insta-gibbed her, but it does give me a chance to get some cooldowns out of the Hunter and get my dots rolling. So right now, it is a 1v2, but I've got lots of dots rolling right now, so things are looking good. The Hunter is going to deter and feign death here. Both of these guys have trinkets, but I'm going to get a big old Soul Reaper up on that guy. He's going to run behind the pillar, and I'm going to turn my attention to the Rogue here. So right there, the Hunter is going to die behind the pillar to my Soul Reaper. And so now it's just me and the Rogue at this point. So I'm going to start immediately spamming Chains of Ice on the Rogue and trying to have my conversion rolling. I still have Lichborn. I still have... Oh, yeah, that's right. I wanted to use... I could have used IBF earlier, but I just wasn't thinking about it, I guess. I was a little bit too focused on seeing that Hunter die or not. But regardless, I do get a chance to get a kill on this Rogue because my conversion's rolling, my dots are rolling, and the Rogue is not able to damage through my conversion and Blood Presence. So that was a pretty intense little 1v2 match we had there. But Jenny did a great job listening to my strat, hotting herself up, surviving for as long as she could, and just long enough for me to get all my dots rolling on these guys. So, just once again, we are fighting an Arms Warrior and Discipline Priest. And look at this Disc Priest. He is so cheeky, man. I just get all my dots rolling on him, and he doesn't even dismount. He's just going to run all the way across the map. I don't even get dots on the Warrior right now, but Jenny did bash him off of me, so that helped a lot. So I'm just running after this Disc Priest, who still hasn't even dismounted. So that's pretty embarrassing that this Priest just got away from me like that. However, he still took an insane amount of damage from my dots, and he makes the decision to come in my face and try to smite me. So I'm like, are you kidding me? Get back here. Gonna get some more Necros rolling on him. He's gonna be casting his penance, running away. My Necrotic Strike still is keeping him right at the same health he always has been. I think Jenny gets into a fear there, but it's all good. The Priest is running behind the pillar, around half health, so I'm just gonna turn onto this Warrior. Gonna get some Necrotic Strikes on him, gonna get my Soul Reaper up, get my dots rolling. Now this is kind of scary. I'm gonna pop my AMS here, because I'm, chilling about 35% health. The Priest life swaps the Warrior, so I wanted to hit the Priest the whole time anyway. My Asphyxiate is back up. As soon as I can make contact with this Priest, I'm gonna start dealing some serious damage to this guy. So he runs right into me. This Priest is so ballsy. I'm not sure if he's ballsy, doesn't have respect for the DK Dirty Deeps, but regardless, he puts himself right into my range, and that's gonna end up costing him his life. I'm gonna double Death Grip his Aura Mastery there. Jenny tries, I think Jenny might have gotten into a bash there, but I know I had a Pet Stun on him. He's gonna run away from me once again, so I'm not even gonna bother trying to chase. I'm just gonna keep my damage rolling, get some Necros on the Warrior, really make this Priest struggle. Now, while the Priest is up on top of the bridge, Jenny is gonna land a full Cyclone on him, which is gonna put the Warrior in a lot of pain here. I am gonna Asphyxiate the Warrior, maybe try to get a kill on him. I know the Priest is pretty close by, but he's not gonna be able to save this guy. Even through a bubble, my Soul Reaper is gonna land a kill on that Warrior, and this ballsy Priest ends up surviving the day, but not not long enough to keep his partner alive. So we are going to get a win out of this arena match. And even though it had a pretty funny start, and this priest was just in my face the whole time, I mean, I don't know what to say about this guy. He had some cojones, but it didn't end up working out too well for him and his warrior partners. So really good job, Jenny, for these awesome arenas. Hopefully we can get Jenny to do some more arenas with us in the future, and I really hope you guys enjoyed this because it was a blast for me. So thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you next time. Peace!